Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Jim Tews!
What's up, everybody? Oh, wow. Oh, my. Oh, thanks. Thanks. That's the applause sign. You guys nailed it. Appreciate you being here at Imposters Theater in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Perfect weather for a visit to the region. I do have some slides to show you guys. I don't want you to panic. This isn't anything weird. I'm just gonna open with a quick business opportunity that I would like to present to all of you, and believe me when I say it is mutually beneficial. You've been a great crowd. I've been watching the other comics, and you feel safe to me, which is huge, because I don't know if you know this, but comedy is dangerous now. You never know what could happen to me up here, okay? I did a show not that long ago. I said my age on stage. I'm 43 years old, thank you. And this woman just yelled out, 81 babies unite! And for a second, I thought that I had said something to upset her, and that she had summoned 81 babies to come and take me the fuck down. I was like, oh my God, how do I defend myself against 81 babies? That's a lot. That's one baby. I'm just showing you some visuals. That's one baby, okay? To give you an idea of how many 81 babies is, that's 3, all right? That's 40.5. That's 81. You ain't surviving that, okay? I feel like I'm good up to maybe 10. I could distract them. I could entertain them, perhaps. I could jump over them. I'm not gonna jump them. But I feel like if you get up in the higher double digits, you have a choice to make, and the choice is, do you kick a baby? Me, personally, I don't, okay? I don't. You can, I don't. I let them consume me like a pot of zombies. And they will operate as a unit at those numbers, all right? The hive mind will take effect, and they will climb up your legs, and they will kill you. They will use that incredible infant grip strength. Have you ever let a baby grab your finger? Yeah. You're like, where the fuck did that come from? Yeah, they're no joke. I read this. This is true. There was a study done at an accredited university a long time ago, and the average infant can support its own body weight in a dead hang from a chin-up bar for 10 seconds. The average infant. Yeah, they found the average, okay? That's the most concerning part. You know how you find an average? You need a sample size, right? That means at this established accredited university, some very educated people were just hanging babies by chin-up bars. A well-educated man hung a baby up to a chin-up bar, and then when it grabbed on, another well-educated man hit start on a timer, and then he hit stop when the babies let go. Like, where did they fall is my first question. I mean, how high? How high up were they? Was it a foam pit underneath? I also did say that I said men both times. I just said, and I'm not being sexist. I'm just assuming that if a woman was president, she would have stopped it. This is 100% a guy idea. She would have walked in like, fellas. Did we finish measuring our dicks? What's going on here? Why are we hanging these babies? I'll never know. I'll never know how the real experiment went, I guess. I don't have kids, and that's good, because I would 100% hang my child from a chin up. Without question. Just to see where it's stacked up. My wife and I don't have kids. We decided not to. We read the terms of service, and they were long and confusing, and we did not click agree. So, do I feel like I'm missing out on stuff? Yeah, sometimes. You know what I'm missing out on right now? I don't have an excuse to get out of any social situation. I have to go to everything I'm invited to. Jim, what are you doing on Wednesday? Nothing, dude. Yeah, I'll help you move. What am I can't lie to you. Like, oh, Jaden has a thing or whatever. I don't have that. Is that what they name kids these days? I don't know. I don't even know. I've lost track. I would just name my kid Jim, because that's what my dad did. That's what my grandfather did. I would just be the third guy in a row with zero ideas of what to... I'd name it Jim Again. That would be the name, Jim Again. I don't know. I guess sometimes, like, I'll hang out with a friend's baby, and, like, with the friend present. And I do think kids are great. I really do. My wife and I both love kids. Like, hang out with the baby, and then I'll be like, oh, this is so great. I wish we had a baby. And then the next morning I'll wake up, whenever, and then I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that I don't have a baby, But my wife and I are in our mid-40s, so this is like a last call situation, okay? It's like last call at a bar. Like, if you miss last call that night, you're like, oh shit, I wish I got another drink. But then the next morning, you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm so glad that I don't have a baby, We have responsibilities, though. We have a dog and a cat. They're expensive, so I'm fine. The cat had to have emergency surgery a while back. Had a bladder stone removed. It was so expensive. It would have been worse, but the cat has better health insurance than I've had in my entire life. So it was manageable. But it's still a lot of money. And then the vet was like, oh, that stone was huge. And I was like, cool, can I have it? Usually when I pay that much for a stone, I have it mounted in a piece of jewelry. Which I think would be fun. I just get it princess cut and polished and put in a little white gold setting. Then I'm wearing it out everywhere, just drawing attention to it. Oh, this? Oh yeah, that's actually a very rare mineral. Found only in the bladder of a domestic shorthair who refused to drink water. So expensive. I'd spend it again, though. You do whatever for cat. That's my generation's burden. Every other generation could just be like, I don't know what happened to the dog. With millennials and younger, it's a community organized thing. There's a GoFundMe. You're like, we got to keep this thing on life support. It's got to keep going. That's my fate. I've decided it. I don't know. I like having a dog. Ours is a rescue. We adopted her. I don't know if you've been through this process, but you just, you submit applications to all these adoption agencies, and then eventually one will contact you, and that's what happened with us. And this place called us, and they were like, "Hey, we have seized a litter of Pekingese puppies from an irresponsible breeder. Would you like one?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." I was not familiar with the term irresponsible breeder, though. I mean, I've used the term. But I didn't know what it meant with dogs, And basically the short version is, my dog's inbred. she's a purebred, but she's like a little too pure, It's like a little King Joffrey kind of thing. She's got show dog DNA. You can see it when she walks, but that DNA has a little extra twist at the end of the strand. This is the Pekingese, by the way. This is my dog. I mean, that's the ideal version of my dog. My dog has an underbite like this, right? And then her eyes are crossed, but not this way. They're crossed that way. She's cute. Honestly, she rides that very fine line between, oh my God, that's adorable, and oh my God, can that thing breathe? But people will laugh at her when I walk her, and honestly I don't like it. It shouldn't bother me. It's not my DNA. What do I care? But it hits me. They'll just point, and I'm like, what the fuck? Do you think she's not in on this joke, okay? And then they'll always be like, oh, is that a purebred? And I'm like, what's with that question, Hitler? She's got Pomeranian in her. What are you gonna do, okay? Just get away from us. Walk around. You gotta walk far. You gotta go across the street. She can see you from both sides. Leave me and my dog alone. I didn't know anything about the breed, the Pekingese breed, before we got the dog. I didn't care. I was just, I just wanted a little dog. And then I Googled the Pekingese afterwards, and they have a pretty cool backstory. They're dogs from the Peking dynasty, ancient China, right? The legend of the Pekingese goes that a lion fell in love with a butterfly, okay? And for obvious reasons, it could not consummate its relationship with the butterfly. That's not even to scale. That's as close as I could get. So the lion went to the Buddha and was like, I'm in love with this butterfly. Can you do me a solid? And the Buddha's like, I got you. Shrinks the lion down to a little 10-pound creature, and that's the Pekingese. So when people are like, what's the Pekingese like? I'm like, oh, my dog's got the heart of a lion that wants to fuck a butterfly. It's pretty fitting. I also read that they actually were used for security, right? You don't think 12-pound Pekingese, what are you gonna do with that? But they were used in by the emperors. They would get a bunch of them, and they would put them under their robes and whatever. And if an attacker would approach, they would just unleash a pack of dogs on them. I was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Can we get that irresponsible breeder back on the phone? I think I want a pack of these things. Just see me coming down the street. Go ahead, try me. Ha! Like that, right? I'm gonna get 81 of them coming at you. You ain't gonna survive. They'll come at your jaw first. Cross-eyed and horny. I love having a dog. I don't think that you need to have kids in your relationship if you don't want to, but I did think it's important that together you monitor the bowel movements of another being. It is healthy. That's the majority of my wife and I's text discussion. Did she go? How was it? It's a lot of that. I took a picture. I took a picture of my dog's shit the other day. It was huge, okay? I won't show it to you because that's kind of gross. But it was big, and I put my foot next to it for scale. Took a picture and sent it to my wife. And do you think she was grossed out? She wasn't. She was like, wow, look what our little girl did. That's, you're just proud. It's like you teach them and you hope. And sometimes it works out. One thing I realize my dog has just like absolutely terrible timing. She just wants to go out at the worst possible times, right? She'll just look at me. Hey, are you busy right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm actually the most busy I've ever been. She'll be like, okay, good, because I have to shit. No, you can't wait. Oh, you want me to do it over here? You want it on the floor? Okay. I mean, I can. Nope, I can't. I'm like, please. I've seen you do it. I'm not calling your bluff. Let's go outside. Clearly, you have to go. And then you think they'll go right away. They don't. They get real choosy, right? They got to sniff. They got to walk around the block, whatever. And you're showing them this spot. You're showing them that spot. And they don't want to go. And then you feel like a real estate agent with a really picky client. I'm like, how about this? It's available immediately. It's 15 square feet. It's all bathroom. Great for pee or poop. Up and coming neighborhood. Sometimes food falls here. You can't eat it. I'll make you spit it out, but... Okay, next. Perfect pisser-upper. This is a solid starter spot. Already soaked in piss that you can piss on top of. It's a recent foreclosure. Hope that's not a deal breaker. There's garbage you can sniff on Wednesdays and Sundays. Is that... No, you don't want to go there? Okay, fair. I know just the place. Something a little more upscale, perhaps. How's this? Fully fenced-in efficiency, green space on the property. It's a purebred neighborhood, so you're gonna do a lot of good networking. Loose dirt, smells great, you can kick it up. Does that sound good? No? Too high for your taste? How about this? Oh, looks like we found a spot, everybody. Dream property. Full of glass bottles. There is a syringe or two on the ground. Be careful. That tree is diseased and definitely on its way out, so you won't even have to worry about it soon. Ugh, there you go. That's Rue, everybody. Yeah, thanks. She's in the basement. She'll be out later. I can't leave that picture up for too long because you will just stare at the dog. I'd feel comfortable with you guys if I can ask you this. Are you guys into tote bags? Yeah. It just feels coded sometimes because I'm just saying I've never seen a conservative tote bag. I've never seen a Fox News tote bag. You know what I'm saying? And I'm asking why. What? You got to put stuff somewhere, right? Get some tote bags. You get a lot of tote bags. What do you do with them? Where do you put them? In a tote bag. It's the perfect solution, okay? You get a lot of tote bags, you put them in a tote bag. We have a lot of tote bags in my house, and the majority of them are acquired by my wife through her various philanthropic feminist pursuits. The messaging on them is a little one note. So I'll go to grab a tote bag to run to the corner store, just buy like a tall boy and some plantain chips or whatever. I don't look at the bag. And then the guy behind the counter will be like, "You need a bag, boss?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got one." And then I open it up, and it's just like a uterus with teeth. And then I gotta own it. I'm like, it's called feminism. Ever heard of it? Just put it in the fucking bag. And then he'll be like, "What's on the other side?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg." Is she holding a gavel? No, it's a severed penis, actually. I won't make you keep looking at that. I don't know. I like the tote bag thing. I'm not exaggerating. It may be uncomfortable to carry a tote bag for a while because I feel it's just. I didn't grow up carrying a purse, and it feels like a purse, and it like you do a lot of this with a tote bag, and it feels weird on my masculinity, you know, and it's not a tough look. And I think that if you saw me carrying a tote bag and I tried to fight you and I was going like this, you would be like, "I'm about to win this fight." But we need to change the image here, okay? We need to rebrand tote bags. I want like my old conservative dad carrying a tote bag. And I could do it. I just got to call it something different, you know? Like I just got to call it like a tactical canvas carry-all, you know? And then I'll get him one. I'll be like, "Oh, what'd you get me?" I'm like, "I got you something. It's a tactical canvas carry-all. You can put your bullets in it." And then he'll be like, "Oh, this is great." And then he'll put it on. I'll be like, "Walk around." And then he'll be like this, and I'll be like, "Gotcha. You're a little bit gay now." Haha. But it doesn't have to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a tactical canvas carry-all and just utility and masculinity combined into one. Okay. But yeah, so my wife and I, we got married not that long ago. We actually we got engaged right before the pandemic. I asked her to marry me right before the pandemic. I didn't know that it was going to happen. I wouldn't have changed my mind. It wouldn't have changed my mind. I'm just saying. I was like, I said to the universe, I put it out there. I love this woman. I want to be with her forever, all the time. 24/7, I don't ever want to leave her side. And then the universe was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why, universe? What's gonna happen?" And then we just got trapped in a queen's apartment for a couple months under quarantine. And it was fine, you know. There were good nights and bad nights. The good nights, it was like a sleepover. We were smoking pot and playing video games. We were having sex. I don't know if you did that at your sleepovers, but we tried it. Bad nights, they were rough. It was like we're both trying to save a failing restaurant, okay? Just 3 meals a day in the weeds, screaming at each other. I'm like, 86 ketchup! Just say we're at a ketchup. This isn't a restaurant. I'm like, "Okay, but it's a tight space, so I'm still gonna say corner." Then, we found a good way to kill time. You know, that's what you do. I mean, I'm pretty good marriage so far. I figured out the secret. You just gotta pick a TV show. That's all you gotta do. I got it. She likes to watch Jeopardy a lot, and which is great. I like to watch it too. She likes to watch though. She likes to scream the answers, and then I forget that she likes to do that. So I'll hear her doing it from another room, and then it just sounds like she's asking dumb questions. She'll just be like, "What is Kansas? Who is Barack Obama?" I'm like, "Are you having a stroke in there? Are you okay?" Oh, you're watching Jeopardy. Sorry. Our priorities are pretty aligned, but there's some stuff we differ on. She really cares about expiration dates on food, and I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna let the government tell me when my hummus is bad. I got a nose, okay? It's a keen sense of when food is rotten. And I've developed that sense by screwing it up a lot. The other day she came home, she was like, "Did you eat that hummus?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Well, it was a little tangy. I feel all right." She's like, "Do you know how old that was?" I saw the Vote Bernie sticker on it, but I thought maybe he was running again. She gives me shit for my clothes sometimes, just a little bit. I don't know why. You could see clearly this 2017 Kohl's catalog look is working. Here's the thing. I like useful clothing. I like functional clothing, and that's not, she's not a fan. She doesn't like cargo pants. She doesn't like bucket hats. I love bucket hats. They make so much sense, okay? They block the sun from your ears, your neck, your face. I bought the best pair of pants like 2 weeks ago. I was on the road, and I found them at a thrift store. They're these hiking pants that zip off into shorts. They're amazing. And I wore them home, and as soon as I got in, I was like, "Babe, check this out." I just dropped the lower half. I just put the top down on my convertible pants. She was not impressed. So I was like, "Whoa, they're quick drying." And she was like, "Yeah, so am I. Put some jeans on." She said to me the other day, she was like, "You don't wear outfits, you wear clothes." I was like, "Damn, that's a high level burn." Didn't know I married the Roastmaster General. She bought it though, She's all on board. She's put a ring on this Cleveland Six, I did get married late in life, and I think that's fine. I'm a late bloomer, I kind of blame it on my religious upbringing. I wasn't super religious, but I did enough youth group stuff to be damaged for a while. I still remember doing a youth group event when I was like 13, right? And I made a promise to God that I would not have sex until I was married. But if you saw me when I was 13, you would realize it was more of a promise that God had made to me. You know what I mean? Like God's looking down. I'm like, "I won't have sex, God." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I did that. I set that up." Just for reference, that's me. This is my freshman year of high school. Yeah, so I was like 14, right? Yeah. What a slayer. Man. Anyway, enough of that kid. That's who I do it for. I don't want to brag either, but the other day when I was back home, I was coming up out of the subway, and this woman stopped me. She was like, "Are you Nick Cage?" I said, "No." And she goes, "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm 5'7", and I just came up out of the subway." Nick Cage is definitely neither of those things. But I took it as a compliment, you know. I mean, I love Nick Cage. I really do. He's one of my favorite actors. But, you know, you have to recognize that Nick Cage is not a monolith. There is not but one Nick Cage. Nick Cage is a spectrum. So when somebody says, you look like Nick Cage, you have to ask, okay, thanks, but which Nick Cage? Because there's a couple, right? We got Raising Arizona Nick Cage. Yes, I'll take it. Love it. That's my favorite Nick Cage, personally. We got The Rock Nick Cage. Solid. Yes, please. I'd be that guy. We got Renfield Nick Cage. As a more recent movie, I like this Nick Cage. That's what I look like when I dress up and go to church as a favor to my mom. Then we have me during the pandemic. That's Nick Cage from Pig. And then this is a good one too. I like this Nick Cage. I'll take this one. This is Con Air Nick Cage. And then this is Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if there was a connection, but I'm making it right here. Then we got USS Indy Nick Cage. Oh, I've never looked like that before, or have I? Yes, Nick Cage and a scared boy. Fresh out of Coast Guard boot camp. Now this last one is truly me, Nick Cage, on all accounts. This is Nick Cage from Adaptation, where he's just a pudgy, anxious, failing writer. Wears a lot of plaid, and that's how I feel most of the time. Now, again, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you this. The only other celebrity that I have been told that I look like was Javier Bardem. Which, yes, of course, I'll take that. But again, which Javier Bardem? Eat, Pray, Love Javier Bardem? Or No Country for Old Men? I know which one. It's this one. But, you know, she's on the hook. We had a great wedding. You know, like I said, we were in our 40s, so it was an old wedding. It was fun. It was a good vibe. Nobody's grandparents were there, but a lot of people attended in spirit. That's fine. You don't have to pay for spirits. It's different, the old wedding. You know, like from a young wedding. You know, like a couple gets married when they're in their 20s. You're kind of like, cool. Girl, great. Here's an Applebee's gift card. Good luck. We're gonna follow you on Facebook because some of us made bets about this. When the couple's in their 40s, it's a different energy. Everyone's on board, okay? Because they're like, yeah, I think these two can make it through the back nine of their lives. Having an old wedding was fine. It was a lot of fun. It didn't feel weird. I thought it would, and it didn't. And you know what was weird, though, I'll tell you, was having an old bachelor party. It just wasn't what I expected a bachelor party to be when I was like in my 20s. You know what I mean? Like this was like a bachelor party with a bunch of guys in their 40s getting together in a city that most of them didn't live in. It was more of a conference than a party. And it was a destination bachelor party. We had a destination bachelor party, but we didn't go to Vegas. Do you know where I came for my bachelor party? Cleveland. That's right. Yeah. I had a destination bachelor party in Cleveland. You guys know it makes sense. It's a cheap ticket. Everyone's happy to have you. And you'll keep a secret just as well as Vegas can. Everyone's like, yeah, no, we won't tell anyone. Thanks for having your conference here. We appreciate that. It was still a party, even though we're all kind of old, you know? There was a fair amount of drinking. There was a lot of drugs. There were all prescribed to us, but there was a lot. There was a lot of Xanax going around, you know? A little bit of Lunesta. A couple guys had Flomax. We all shared it, you know? It was a real relaxed party. Everybody was sleeping through the night, pissing at regular intervals. A lot of strong streams, me and my boys. One friend brought acid. Everyone else brought antacid. It's okay. Do you have water? You have something to drink? Okay. It's all right. I'm not going to stop you from laughing. The friend that brought acid, it gets better, so hang on, buddy. Now watch it not get better. The friend that brought acid was just like, hey, do you guys want to do this acid? And immediately we're all like, no, not at all. We're in our 40s in a town that we don't live in. This is trippy enough. Let's just keep it what it is. Just a couple of boys running around town trying to get their steps in before bed. You all right? Okay, cool. I don't want anybody choking. I mean, it would be a slight badge of honor, but that's not how I want it. That's not how I want it, you know? My wife and I are having a good time being married so far. Think about bringing a third party in, not for anything sexual, just clerical work, mostly. Because both of us have ADD, and it's not fun. It's not easy to deal with. I got diagnosed late in life. I actually got diagnosed in college. I went to Cleveland State University, and I was a 28-year-old sophomore. And the psychiatrist was like, I think you have ADD. And I was like, yeah, something's wrong here. It's not supposed to take you this long to get to this point. And then I just didn't take medication for it for a long time. And then I tried a round of certain medication. 30 days I took it. It was the most productive month of my life. And I decided that I was too powerful. So I stopped taking it. I was like, put me back down to earth. I do not need to live up to my full potential. Yeah, it's not a fun thing to have. It's like having ADD is like having a shitty assistant, but the assistant is just you from 2 hours ago. You from 2 hours ago is like, I know how I'll help future Jim. I'll put all the files in a folder called Files. Then future Jim's like, why would he do that? That is not a system of organization. I don't like the term attention deficit, right? Because it just implies that I have less than, and that means somebody else has like a normal amount, and then that somebody else has a surplus. There are people walking around this earth with a surplus of attention, some of it being mine. Well, I mean, what are they doing with it? What are they using it for? Are they just watching episodes of Game of Thrones without turning to their wife every 5 minutes to be like, who is that? Sorry, I spaced. don't know what to do about it. Whatever. I work on my memory. That's an issue. I don't remember people's faces sometimes. That was real bad after the pandemic. I would see somebody I hadn't seen in a while, and then I would not remember anything about our previous interactions. And it made me wish that my brain would just like play a previously on montage. And wouldn't that be great if you saw someone you hadn't seen in a while and your brain was just like, previously on Greg. And you'd be like, oh yeah, that was a good show. What's up, Greg? Looking forward to season 2. He's like, what are you talking about? I tried quitting drinking. I haven't had a drink in like over 2 months. Yeah, no one in Cleveland claps for that. You're like, but winter's coming. I just wanted to see what happened, if it helped my brain. It's helped. I don't miss being drunk. I've been drinking NA beers. I'm just fucking sucking those down. It turns out I didn't really want to be drunk. I just wanted to burp and have it burn my nose a little bit. That was my favorite part of drinking. I drink those LaCroix sometimes too. You know, the like, they're not even flavored seltzers. I shouldn't say the brand name. I don't want to ruin a sponsorship opportunity. But I drink those seltzers that aren't like fully flavored. They're essenced, is what it says on the can. Like it's an essence of flavor. Like, oh, this is sad. It's just a whisper of flavor. It's a memory. It's like, oh, Jim, remember when you used to feel things? Remember when you used to taste stuff? Remember when all your senses worked? You could drink and fall asleep, not like now, you big baby. But I'm better for it. Still having an issue remembering my wife's phone number, which is kind of strange. She changed it 3 years ago, okay, in my defense. She changed her phone number 3 years ago for work, and I stopped memorizing phone numbers 15 years ago. So this one didn't make the cutoff. Like, she's not my emergency contact. If I have an emergency, I'm calling the house I lived in when I was 8 years old. I've already given them her information. I have one more thing, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I feel like we know each other pretty well at this point. I feel like I can show you pictures of my honeymoon. Is that cool? Yeah. I appreciate that. I mean, it's nice. It's just a sweet thing. We went to Vegas. We went to Las Vegas. Kidding. We went to London and Paris, obviously. London was fun. That was easy. You know, less of a language barrier situation. France, that was a little more difficult. We don't speak French. I just learned how to say, I'm sorry. Je suis désolé. That's how I got by. Je suis désolé. Je suis américain. Je suis comédien. Clown. That was me all over Paris, just being so American. Yeah, but I want to learn a foreign language. I don't know any foreign languages fluently. Ich lerne Deutsch. I'm learning German. I'm working on that. Let me tell you why. I feel like I have to say why, because nobody knows what a Nazi looks like for sure anymore. I mean, mostly since Kanye, but there's been a couple other curveballs lately. So I have to say I'm learning German because I have a sister who moved there in college and started a family there. So I have a niece who speaks German, and she's like 3. So right now we're pretty much at the same level. And I want to tell people, like, when I say I'm learning German, I want to say why. I don't always feel like detailing the family thing. So I've been working on learning this phrase, which is Ich lerne Deutsch, aber ich unterstütze weder den Faschismus noch bewundere ich einen seiner Anführer. Which means I'm learning German, but I do not support fascism or admire any of its leaders. I just like to be clear, you know. Sorry, the photos, right. This is from London. This is a train station. This is my wife over here in the shadow. Here's the thing. I like to take pictures, okay? I love taking pictures. My wife does not like being in pictures, which is fair. But then what happens is all our vacation photos, it just looks like a private eye was hired to tail her around foreign cities. I'm like, oh, there she is in Paris. Not sure what she's up to yet. Seems pretty innocent, just wandering around. She was alone the whole time. I didn't see her with anyone. She almost spotted me here, but luckily I took cover behind a chimney sweep. Just shopping for desserts, checking out the menu. Again, alone the whole time. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Got pretty close here. Followed her all the way home. That's the Mona Lisa. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? We went to the Louvre when we were in Paris. That was amazing to see in person, honestly. That is an Italian masterpiece, okay? This is also an Italian masterpiece. That guy stood in front of me and took a selfie with the Mona Lisa in the background. He waited in line just as long as I did. He's perfectly entitled to do that. I just thought it was funny, so I took his picture. He was very happy. I'd feel bad for kind of shitting for making fun of him. And he was definitely Italian, right? But I do feel like I've been doing this bit everywhere. And I feel like at some point somebody's gonna be like, hey, that's my cousin. And then I'm gonna have to be like, mi dispiace. Sto imparando l'italiano, ma non sostengo il fascismo né immiro nessuno dei suoi leader, which means I'm learning Italian, but I do not support fascism or admire any of its leaders. Okay? You guys have been a fantastic audience. My name is Jim Tews. Thank you so much.